great idea for Rubik's Club box.
Oh, yeah.
Have the potential for repeat.
What happens to him?
While the photographers are doing their thing, I'd just like to remind everyone to please turn off your cell phones and pagers. And identify yourself both to me and to the runners who have the mics. It's important that you wait till the mic before you ask your question or before you speak so that our television audiences can hear you as well. Thank you. Welcome to the press conference for Life is a House, which is receiving its world premiere as a gala at this year's Toronto International Film Festival. We have a huge, stupendous lineup of talent. I'll introduce our guest to you. Would you please sit down? I'll introduce our guest to you, starting at the far end of the table with the film's producer, Rob Cohen. Next to him, Jona Malone gives a wonderfully textured performance as Elisa, a girl I wish I'd had next door. Toronto's own Hayden Christensen plays Sam, a goth who brings new meaning to black humor.
John McKay, Canadian Press, and to Hayden Christensen, and surprise, it's not about Star Wars. We know movies are made in bits and pieces and often out of sequence, and your character, although a supporting character, is probably the heart and soul of the film, the one that goes through the most emotional journey from this hostile punk to a pretty nice guy. Right. Have you found that's one of the hardest things about movie acting, to have to try to remember where you picked up, to pick up where you left off, and how to carefully advance your character seamlessly? And do continuity people and the director really take charge of that, or is that one of the hardest things?
I think it's definitely a collaborative effort. It was my first experience with having a performance of mine edited and being able to see that transition work fluidly. But that just is done through a lot of written work and knowing where you should take your beats and where your character progresses and what, stimuli affects his progression to finding love and warmth in his life. But yeah, no, it was a challenge, but I learned as I went along. I got a lot of help from my cast members and from Erwin and Rob and everybody.
Questions, please raise your hand.
Is that long enough?
Can you elaborate on it?
Can I ask Hayden then what it feels like to be the flavor of the millennium?
Very exciting and very bizarre. It's all very new to me, and I don't know, things are changing for me, and all for the better. It's affording me great work opportunities. It's allowing me to do films like this. So I'm in a very good place in my life right now, I'm thankful to say.
By the way, if I can just interject, by flavor of the millennium, I mean, as opposed to flavor of the month, I think Hayden is here to stay, and he's the genuine article. Thank you very much.
I owe you $10 now?
Maybe later. American. There's a question, sir.
I have another question for Hayden. As you were saying that you feel a very fortunate time for you right now.
Correct.
And I was wondering if choosing or having a film like this choose you is a reward or more of an antidote for some of the Star Wars hysteria.
It's definitely very rewarding. It's just been an amazing learning experience for me. I don't know. I think one of the things that Kevin has really impressed upon me is that the less an audience knows about an actor, the more they can believe him in the role. And I think that's one of the reasons why George Lucas picked me for the part, so that he could achieve that. And it was important for me, if I was going to do a film that was going to come out before Star Wars, to really be unrecognizable, so that the audience, when seeing Anakin for the first time, could still have that same impression. So I think it's definitely a good film for me to be doing right now.
Questions? Sir.
Maybe just follow up a little bit, if you could compare and contrast working with the human ensemble and working in a kind of a film that probably requires a whole different kind of discipline.
Right. Star Wars is a film that just demands a lot on the imagination, just because of all the blue screen work and the fact that we can't really shoot it in outer space. But I don't know, a film like this is almost more rewarding as an actor, because you can have the fulfillment of working off actors like Kevin, and Kristin, and Mary, and Jona, which just, improves my performance that much more, I think.
Can I just follow up and just briefly explain the chronology of how both films came to you, which was first, and et cetera?
Star Wars was first, and then when I finished principal photography on that, I auditioned for this.
Questions? Mr. Winkler, I think the choice of
Christina Lopez, CTVnews.com. Sorry, I'm back to Hayden again. Have we lost you now to Hollywood, or would you come back to Canada to work on an independent project if it interested you?
A good film's a good film. A Canadian good film is a good film. So, I still live in Toronto and just want to make good movies. If it's in Canada or if it's in the U.S., it's wherever it is. But no, I'm a Canadian in my blood, so I plan to stay here.
This is for Jenna. I'm just wondering who's a better kisser, Kevin or Hayden?
No comment.
I think that means Kevin.
questions in the second row. Just thank you very much. Life is a House opens on October 26th in key markets and expands after that. Thank you for joining us.